My name is Beatrice Mosionier, and I'm going to read two sections from In Search of April Raintree. The first is called Tanned, and the second will be Mr. White Man. For the rest of that month, the Derosier kids taunted me about having drunkards for parents. It was new ammunition for them to use against me, and it bothered me a lot. One Saturday morning they started in on me again, and finally I made my feeble defense. They're not drunkards. They're sick, that's all. Sick? Sick? Boy, what a dummy you are. But then half-breeds and Indians are pretty stupid, aren't they? Maggie said maliciously. Yeah, your parents don't know how to take care of you. They just know how to booze it up, Ricky added. And then they started mimicking drunken people and talking to each other with slurred speech, laughing at intervals. I shook my head no and ran out of the house, across the grain fields, running as hard and as fast as I could. They had acted and sounded just like my parents and their friends. I remembered. I could run all I wanted, but I couldn't run away from the truth. When I reached the edge of the woods, my side was aching. I stopped and sat down, my back against a pine tree. I was panting and sobbing very hard. By the time I caught my breath, I could picture my parents. So, that's why you never got any better? Liars. That's what you are. All those promises of getting well. All those lies about taking medicine. Liars. You told us, soon April, soon Cheryl, we'll take you back home as soon as we get better. Well, you lied to us. You never intended to get better. You never cared about us. You made Cheryl cry and you don't even care. And because of you, I'm stuck here. I hate you both for lying to us. I hope I never see you again. I got up and started walking back to the house because I still had floors to wash. I stopped and thought, no, why should I? They can beat me if they want to. I don't care. I just don't care anymore. To hell with them. To hell with my parents. To hell with everyone except Cheryl. Even the Dionnes didn't answer my letters. They had lied too. They didn't really care for me. But that's okay because I don't care either. I turned back into the woods and made my way through the heavy underbrush. I don't know how far I walked before I came upon a small clearing that bordered the Red River. The sunlight filtered through the towering trees, warming even the shady spots. The area was alive with the sounds of birds, squirrels, and bugs. But I felt at peace. The tension from the past months had lifted. I know I felt this way because I was all cried out. And I had decided that for now I didn't care about anything. I wasn't really thinking about anything when I noticed my arms and hands. They were tanned a deep golden brown. A lot of pure white people tanned just like this. Poor Cheryl. She would never be able to disguise her brown skin as just a tan. People would always know that she was part Indian. It seemed to me that what I'd read and what I'd heard indicated that Métis and Indians were inclined to be alcoholics. That's because they were a weak people. Oh, they were put down more than anyone else, but then, didn't they deserve it? Anyways, I could pass for a pure white person. I could say I was part French and part Irish. If I had to, I could even change the spelling of my name. Raintree with 2 E's looked like one of those Indian names, but if I changed the spelling to Raintree with a Y, that could pass for Irish. And when I grew up, I wouldn't be poor. I'd be rich. Being a half-breed meant being poor and dirty. It meant being weak and having to drink. It meant being ugly and stupid. It meant living off white people and giving your children to white people to look after. It meant having to take all the crap white people gave. Well, I wasn't going to live like a half-breed. When I got free of this place, when I got free from being a foster child, then I would live just like a real white person. Then the question came to mind. What about Cheryl? How was I going to pass for a white person when I had a Métis sister, especially when she was so proud of what she was? I loved her. I could never cut myself off from her completely, and she wouldn't go along with what I had planned. I would never even be able to tell her what I planned. I sat there thinking for a long time, but the problem wouldn't be resolved. Well, I had a long time to figure that one out. For sure she would never turn out to be like the rest of the Métis people. She and maybe Mrs. McAdams were special people. Cheryl was already a whole lot smarter than all the rest of the kids in her class. I sighed, stood up, and stretched. I felt I was ready to face whatever the DeRosiers had in store for me. One day, I would be free of them. Mr. White Man. White man, to you my voice is like the unheard call in the wilderness. It is there, though you do not hear. But this once, take the time to listen to what I have to say. Your history is highlighted by your wars. Why is it all right for your nations to conquer each other in your attempts at dominion? When you sailed to our lands, you came with your advanced weapons. You claimed you were a progressive, civilized people. And today, white man, you have the ultimate weapons, warfare that could destroy all men, all creation. And you allow such power to be in the hands of those few who have such little value and true wisdom. White man, when you first came, most of our tribes began with peace and trust in dealing with you. We showed you how to survive on our homelands. We were willing to share with you our vast wealth. Instead of repaying us with gratitude, you turned on us. You turned on us with your advanced weapons and your cunning trickery. When we, the Indian people, realized your intentions, we rose to do battle to defend our nations, our homes, our food, our lives. And for our efforts, we are labeled savages, and our battles are called massacres. And when our primitive weapons could not match those which you had centuries of wars to perfect, we realized that peace could not be won unless our mass destruction took place. And so we turned to treaties, and this time we ran into your cunning trickery, and we lost our lands, our freedom, and we were confined to reservations. And we are held in contempt as long as the sun shall rise. For you, white man, those are words without meaning. White man, there is much in the deep, simple wisdom of our forefathers. We were here for centuries. We kept the land, the waters, the air, clean and pure, for our children and for our children's children. Now that you are here, white man, the rivers bleed with contamination. The winds moan with the heavy weight of pollution in the air. The land vomits up the poisons that have been fed into it. Our Mother Earth is no longer clean and healthy. She is dying. White man, in your greedy rush for money and power, you are destroying. Why must you have power over everything? Why can't you live in peace and harmony? Why can't you share the beauty and the wealth that Mother Earth has given us? You do not stop at confining us to small pieces of rock and muskeg. Where are the animals of the wilderness to go when there is no more wilderness? Why are the birds of the skies falling to their extinction? Is there joy for you when you bring down the mighty trees of our forests? No living thing seems sacred to you. In the name of progress, everything is cut down, and progress means only profits. White man, you say that we are people without dignity, but when we are sick, weak, hungry, poor, when there is nothing for us but death, what are we to do? We cannot accept the life that has been imposed on us. You say that we are drunkards, that we live for drinking, but drinking is a way of dying without enjoying life. You have given us many diseases. It is true that you have found immunizations for many of these diseases, but this was done more for your own benefit. The worst disease for which there is no immunity is the disease of alcoholism, and you condemn us for being its easy victims, and those who do not condemn us weep for us and pity us. So we, the Indian people, we are still dying. The land we lost is dying too. White man, you have our land now. Respect it as we once did. Take care of it as we once did. Love it as we once did. White man, our wisdom is dying as we are, but take heed. If Indian wisdom dies, you, white man, will not be far behind. So weep not for us, weep for yourselves, and for your children, and for their children, because you are taking everything today, and tomorrow there will be nothing left for them.